Well, looks like we had a slight technical difficulty with that starting up, but that's fine.
We had technical difficulties.
We had
technical difficulties.
Yes.
Testicle or technical?
Testicle difficulties.
Testicle. Oh my God, we had testicle.
I mean, I've never had testicle difficulties.
I never had them either, but we had testicle difficulties on the show, so it's a first for everything. So.
Yes.
Hey,
everybody.
How y'all doing?
Hey.
How y'all doing?
How's everyone doing today?
I feel like I need to get into my Family Guy. How y'all doing?
Yes. How you doing?
What's his name? I don't even know. I can't even think of his name.
I don't know if that character has a name.
He does. I cannot. He's the little creepy guy. I cannot think of his name.
Yeah. Is it? No, it's not Quagmire.
No, No.
I know who you're talking about. He's like
a hippie.
Says, oh no! That's where I got that from. Like, oh no!
Yeah. So But how y'all doing? Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. It is Wednesday.
Yeah, Bruce. I think it's Bruce. Hey, Spesh.
It's Bruce. Okay. Hey, Spesh. Thank you.
Hey, speaking of which, Spesh, I need to message you because I got the exact address of our house for Fort Lauderdale. So we are good to go. So you can use that in your planning. I know that y'all are going to find a fabulous mansion that's going to put ours to shame, and we'll be only slightly jelly.
They're going to have a mansion that we can visit, and then it's going to be a mansion that they're going to stay in. So that's just what they.
Right, it's going to be one of them. Remember that all white one that we saw that was like $10,000 a night.
There you go. That's their spot.
Well, no, you know what they're going to do? They just bought a camper. So they're going to just come up and park in our driveway.
Are y'all driving down?
And live in our camper.
Are y'all driving?
He says, I think I found it already. Okay. Well, we'll talk after the show. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 132 of the BGKH Show. Yeah. I am Dominion.
And
I'm sorry, Gagatha Christie. That was my cousin. Was
it your cousin or was it your sister?
Listen, play cousin.
I'm just trying. I just want to make sure. Okay. I got you.
Listen, sometimes she be trying it, so I hope everyone enjoyed Gagatha, and
I hope they did as well. Yeah, Starkeisha came through.
There was wig hairs all over the studio, though.
Listen, that's probably Starkeisha because she bought them damn cheap wigs.
Mm-hmm. That's what it is.
Well, actually, she don't buy cheap wigs. The construction is cheap, but the hair is good. Because I'm just saying, that's just what she does.
I just feel like I want to tilt the camera down a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah,
why not?
I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Just hold that.
Please hold. We're going to have some more testicle. We're not.
Well, no difficulties.
We're not having difficulties.
We're just going to make.
But we're going to make some more adjustments. We're going to make some.
Studio. This is Studio B of the Gay Boy Mansion, and sometimes she requires a little bit of a modification.
But that's all. It's just a little nip and a little tuck here. That's all it is. Just a little nip and a little tuck. That's all we doing. So, but did everybody have a good week? Everybody have a good week? I see people in I see Spesh. I see, hey Lynx. How's everybody? Come on in.
Oh. Looks like
it probably can be done. You probably have to turn the whole thing around, but it's okay for right now. But because it's on that lever, so it's probably have to spin around and then go up.
Well, right. So it's on this thing, and so in order to tilt it, I'd have to turn it around.
Right. So that's why I was like,
turn around.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired from it. I can't remember the words.
Turn around.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired from the
turn around, Bryant.
Every now and then I fall apart, 'cause I need you now more than. Oh my God, I am a horrible 80s kid. I should know this song. Oh my God. Actually, I'm a 70s kid, but I grew up in the 80s too, so I'm just saying, but
it's all good.
But was one of my favorite songs too. So hey, I see Eccentric. I see Macon Tube Macon. Okay, come on, Macon Tube Macon.
That's my little brother.
I know. Hey, Papa, see you in there too. What's going on?
Okay, that's better.
How y'all doing?
Out of the frame. I wanted to.
Hey, DJ.
See our lovely accoutrement that we got on the table and everything. So,
come on through. The lovely display.
The Gay Boy Mansion is fully set up. So
yeah, we so you need to switch switch over just a little. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, we're doing some adjustments. That's what we're doing. Because listen, we classy and we still keeping it real cute. That's what we're doing. We're making these adjustments for your benefit, so y'all won't say nothing about it later, and y'all can get the full pick of everything that's going on.
Is that?
Yeah, she's good. Level, very level.
All right.
Very level.
Bam. All right.
Very level.
All right. Now,
so
come back through the studio without knocking everything over.
Come back to the studio. Come back. That's all I got right now.
All right.
Oh my God, you're naked.
Do you like?
Who's staring at you?
Oh, wait a minute. What?
Who's staring at you? What's going on? You know why we're staring at you? Because we see you.
Yes, I did put my junk all in the camera, and now this is why I wanted, so I can show you all of the junk. You see all of that? See all of that junk? There you go. There you go. So where's my that's mine.
Yeah.
Okay. So I in honor. So let's start. Count me down.
And then 5.
There was a time when I didn't have no one.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Didn't have no love.
this is a special BGKH tribute.
Do you read?
To the one and only
Remember
Luther motherfucking Vandross.
the love
That's where we are.
we once had.
It's all about Luther.
Well, if I had the chance to love you again, I would make your heart forget that I was ever bad. Oh, no, 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 no.
Luther would have been 70 years old today.
If we forget the past.
And we are celebrating all things Luther.
I know this time love would last.
Because he is what?
Forever.
Yes.
For always.
Yes.
For love.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Happy birthday, Luther Vandross.
Yes.
We appreciate you. We miss you. And we
miss you so much because the girls just can't do it. There's nobody that can do it like Luther did. And it's so many songs. It's so many. Like, I'll listen to a song and then I'll just be listening to it, right? And then I'll be like, Luther remade that too?
Listen.
Because like Luther will remake a song and you'll be forget who the whole
It's a whole nother song, number one. It's a whole nother song. So hey, really be, it's a whole nother song, but
listen,
I appreciate him.
Listen, DJ, I got a lazy jaw, but my throat is spectacular.
Listen, there you have it. You heard it straight from the horse's mouth. That's where we. That's what we.
Throat.
Straight from the horse's throat. That's what we're saying. That's what we. That's what we're going with. So now, DJ, I think it's your turn. So you need to go ahead on and figure out what we going. How you going to use this throat? What we need: pictures, videos, something. I like the finger. Like what? Foot, or we need to figure this out. Like, is this reciprocity?
I mean, there will be. So you
like, yeah, I'm just because I'm filming
there's
all
at
this.
least a couple more numbers because so now you got to come up with a number for a musical interlude because I got another one. So but I will let you go.
I don't know, but and it's so bad because my memory is so shot that I can sing songs when I start hearing them. But like with Luther. I don't even want to sing. I just want to sit back and listen because he just sings the shit out of everything. But one of my favorites by him is Superstar. And so I absolutely love that. One of my favorites.
I want to tell you, baby.
Picture it.
The changes I've been going through.
Philadelphia, 1989.
Missing you. Oh.
Middle of June, about to get ready for the prom.
Come back to me.
A young gay boy straps on his cummerbund.
I don't know what I'm gonna do?
Goes to pick up his date with her very large peach dress on.
No.
Of course, his cummerbund matches and also his handkerchief.
Long ago,
We walk in the door of the prom.
And oh, so far away.
And people say she looks nice.
I fell in love with you.
But they were staring at me.
Before the second show.
Because I was motherfucking fine, bitch.
And what to say.
I'm just saying.
Yes.
So why are you confused? Why are you confused? Listen, get into it. You don't even understand. You don't even understand. Luther is all about listen. Listen. Anybody that was sexually active somewhere around the 80s or the 90s at some particular point, there was some love making going on.
Anyone who ever loved
Dum, dum,
could look at me
dum, dum,
and know that I love you.
dum,
Anyone who ever dreamed
dum, dum,
could look at me
dum.
and know I dream of you.
And this is a remake.
It's a remake of a very wonderful Dionne Warwick song.
And Dionne
that slayed.
Yeah, Dionne slayed.
And Dionne said when she heard Luther sing that song, she was like, well, it's a wrap. I mean, this is the definitive version of this song.
I can't even argue with her because while she does it and you know it's hers, it's like I don't want to hear when that song comes to mind, I don't think of anybody else singing it. And it's been remade. I think so. Dionne did it, and I want to say there's a couple other divas that did it that were in that age bracket of like the Dionne, maybe Riri or Patty. But a couple people have done this. So I don't know. No, they do not play. Well, you know what? I don't know if they didn't play Luther at the Follies, but I wasn't really paying that much attention.
I wasn't paying attention to the music at the Follies. So,
but you know, I'm just saying. So
we can do some karaoke.
Karaoke.
I'm down with that.
Listen, my karaoke is always spoken word. I can't sing, and I tell people that from the beginning. So I will give you, listen, I will turn any song into a poem, and it will be a spoken word poem that I
forgot I had this light on here, but
I'm just saying it's gonna be everything, the spoken word. So I mean, but if you want to come through and do karaoke, let's figure out a place. If you singing, you know, listen, I will cheer you on. I'll be your biggest cheerleader, but I'll be talking through mine.
Yes.
So that's just my thoughts. So. But how was your week?
It was a weeky week. I mean, you know, while we're in this pandemic and, you know, while we're not really going anywhere, it's not really a whole lot to do. I mean, you know, I'm basically just sitting here chilling and living my life.
Miss
Cocoa Puff. Okay.
Come on.
I'm with it.
Okay. I mean, listen, now listen. I will do Hey Big Spender. I will get that thing all the way together, but I'm gonna talk you through.
The minute you walked in the joint, I could see you were a man of distinction, a real big spender, good looking, so refined. Say, wouldn't you like to know what's going on in my mind? So let me get right to the point.
I don't pop my cork for every
guy I see. Hey, big spender!
Wow, 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 wow!
Spend a little time with me.
It's a mood. It's a mood.
Do you wanna have
fun?
How about a few laughs? I could show you a good time. It sounds like Lynx is trying to make himself a fifth pocketbook.
can't call it a womanless beauty pageant, or do you think it will upset people in the community? Listen, I'm here for it. I'm here for Big Spender. I love this. I love the drama.
We could call it the wet pocketbooks featuring fanny pack.
I'm fine. Well, we have several fanny packs and change purses because it's steps to this. You know, you just change purses and fanny. It's levels to it. So I mean, listen. I mean, we can. It's like Wu-Tang. We deep in this cut. There's a whole bunch. I'm just saying. But y'all not even ready for the next level. I mean, y'all saw one or two of them.
Right.
But y'all ain't see all of them.
I mean, we just been bullshitting. I mean, you know, we showed you a little bit at LOC, you know, where we made hats and, you know, we gave you production value and everything. But, you know, we could do a production. I mean, we had planned to do several productions in 2020. Yeah. And then, you know, the world fell apart.
This pizza that we're in is just, it just fucked everything up. I don't know.
Baby.
But you know, this
and, you know, I was actually thinking about what we could do because there's no reason why we can't pack this camera and these lights amongst, because listen, we were flying.
You're talking about taking down
we're flying on Southwest, so we got 500 pounds of bags between us.
Only thing I'm concerned about is the casing for the lights and like how, whether it's in just another suitcase and how we pad it. Yeah,
t-shirts, lights, t-shirts.
I feel like
and I'm bringing the camera in the bag with me.
Yeah, I feel like we probably may want to invest in like a suitcase and some foam padding to pack specifically stuff.
Yeah, but these lights just pack flat. They unscrew from all of that.
Oh no, I get that. I'm just still trying to, you know, I'm thinking it might even be our carry.
Yeah, I'm not even worried about it. I packed a whole rim seat in my luggage, so I'm good.
Listen, this is where we are.
So speaking of rim seats, do you all like my shirt? This is is done by our brother Sango.
Oh, that's cute.
He had it on in a picture on his Instagram, and I was like, I must have this shirt.
It's cute. It's real cute.
It was a cute price.
It's real cute. Is he cheaper than?
Yeah, it was cheaper than that.
Okay, all right.
But I mean, it still had a price point, but it was reasonable. I mean, you know,
listen, I'm here to support. I'm here to support folks. I'm here to support the community. Right. I'm here to support brothers, sisters. I'm here to support family. Right. I'm here to support everybody. House and ever. I'm gonna need you to realize that I'm supporting you, and I'm not financing you for the entire damn night. So because what's face was like
it was a third more than that.
Yeah, I'm like,
so I was like, girl, for a
I was like,
you screen printed? Okay, girl. So the only reason I bought it is because I'd already commit to it before he told me the price.
I'm gonna support, right. But I'm just saying I thoroughly enjoyed it. So.
And he delivered it to my house and everything.
Okay. So well, you know, listen, Sango, we'll have to talk. But I also am sporting Blade fashions as well, because I absolutely love
our brother Blade. Yes.
This Carpe that fucking diem. Bitch, yes, I was here for it. I'm all for. I mean, all here for it. So I love it. And so his little barber studio. I haven't been there yet, but I'll see him.
His studio was cute. It's in
July.
It's not a huge studio, and that is not a swipe. I'm just saying it's not like 10,000 people in there. Mm-hmm. It's about the size of our barber's.
That's studio. Fine. That's all you need.
A third smaller than that.
That's
but
all
it's the perfect size. But he colored my beard and did everything, and it was nice, and you know he rubbed his package all up on my arm and stuff. But I feel like that was just I am still peeling from my trip.
Did you put some sunblock on?
At the time, yes, but apparently the sun is very strong in Mexico.
I mean, but did you?
And you know what? It's also probably
again?
You know what? It's also probably this. I don't know.
Or did you have some fun time and it's a little bit of residue left over? Is that what that?
No, girl, I just got out of the shower.
Oh, okay.
So this is still skin peeling. So
okay, all right.
Anywho,
I need to make sure I get that on my list.
But yeah, Blade is his studio, his salon is quite cute, and the music was cute too. We was grooving and everything, so it was nice. So we support. We support the people in our lives. So.
I will try to support.
So my week was. How was yours?
My week is still going, and it is still trying me right now. It is trying my patience. I have a lot of work to do before a final ceremony for my job, and it is driving me crazy because I literally worked all last week with one program, and then I had one day off on Monday to not work with a program, and then I'm stuck with this next program until Friday, and then I have to turn around to then get ready for the big program just the following week. So I'm like, I feel very crammed and cramped, and I don't have a lot of time to do stuff, and I'm irritated. And this instructor that I'm working with, he is a phenomenal person. He is a subject matter expert. He's been doing this for 30 years, but baby, him and technology don't work. And listen, I am not going to sit here and say that I am this technological whiz kid, but I can fumble through, and I'm hosting this class, and with Zoom, I don't need to do but so much. But he is getting mixed up between his PowerPoints and pages and books. And in the first hour of the session, this is all you saw on the camera. I was like,
God bless him.
And I had to say to him, I was like, hey, listen, I know you're probably looking at two screens. You have the mouse over here looking at this screen, but all we saw was your ears. I was like, could you sit back so we can see you? And he was like, okay, all right. I apologize. But I mean, sweet as pie, he's great. And then the participants, it was a very small class, but they are trying me. Can you resend this? Can you resend that? I don't understand with the link, and I can't. Listen, you federal government employee people, your agencies have firewalls, and sometimes shit just does not go through. How many times do you want me to send it to the same email address? We'll tell you this.
To the email through once,
then give me another email address. Well, I can't have another email address on my work laptop.
I don't know what to tell you.
What you want me to do, boo? Like, what you want me to do?
IT people,
and so then that's a whole conversation. So meanwhile, we're an hour into class, and I still have people that haven't gotten in because they didn't bother to check their stuff when we sent it out a week ahead of time,
right? To
test the link to see if it would work,
right?
But no, on the day of it, then it's
it's always to be like those sorts of things are your first test of It's like it seems like people like that will be the ones that be like, I can't never seem to get ahead. I was like, girl, because the simple tasks are beyond you, and you don't ever try to figure shit out before you.
And it's one thing if you're technologically savvy enough to figure it out.
Yeah.
Or you were just in it, because literally once you're in that class for the day, the sign-in link and everything else is the same thing for the next day. It's the same exact thing. So what changed? What happened? Like, what? I don't understand. So, but anyway, that's just getting on my nerves. But other than that, I mean, it's been good. Listen, I'm going to sleep. I'm waking up every day. My sleep schedule's off, but I'm okay with that. But other than that, it's pretty good. I smiled today because I chatted with my mom for a second.
How's she doing?
She's fine. And I kind of stopped correcting her with days and dates and times, and I just kind of just go with it. And I got so tickled today when she said, I was like, hey, what are you doing? She said, she's like, I'm at work. I was like, you at work?
Okay.
I was like, you at work? I said, well, what are you doing? She said she was saying something, and I was like, okay. I said, well, girl, listen, as long as the paycheck is right, you get paid. She said, yeah, because they better have my money. And so I just got a little tickled talking to my mother today, but she's good. She's good. And I'm making some other plans. I made my reservation. I'll tell you about.
Okay.
Finally. So no, one at a time. Hold on. I'll tell you about it. But I'm making some more progress. So I'll send some more stuff out. But
ladies and gentlemen, the shenanigans.
It's not shenanigans. I'm just trying to pay for the shit as we go along. How about that?
Understood.
So that's what we're gonna keep it at. But other than that, it was a good week. So yeah, it's been good. So we can but this week for everybody, how's this week been for you all? You guys are tuning in. We had a lot of stuff that went on, especially yesterday. Do people need to sound off? Do we need to check in with you all? Make sure how y'all doing? I see Mike on here, DJ Links. How y'all? Do we need to sound off? What's anything on your mind that we need to sound off about? Anything y'all want to talk about real quick?
Well, they'll jump in. So
yeah, just jump. Okay,
let's jump into it. So I had not been following closely the Derek Chauvin trial because I didn't need to be constantly worked up about it, and I needed to maintain low tones so that when shit went south, I wasn't overly emotionally invested because that's how I deal with it. Some people feel like they have to watch wall-to-wall coverage and stuff. I can't.
I literally,
because then I get too worked up about it.
just tell me the news and that's it. Just tell me what it is. I don't need to talk about it 5 different ways a Sunday. Just tell me what the fuck happened and let me go. Like, that's me. I don't, I feel like we're in information overload right now because of social media, television, news, like everything is, so I just need snippets. Like, even I'm trying to deliver like snippets of information.
Mm-hmm. And there was just so much going on with the trial. And I was like, you know, things that you would think, you're like, well, we clearly saw this motherfucking kneel on his neck for 9 minutes. So
This is what
one would think it would be an open and shut case, but you know, here we are. And so when the verdict was announced, I was like, all right.
like,
I mean,
we
it's not
don't
like I
have
feel, I mean, my level of festivity dropped
just
by
a little
like,
bit, but I'm still curious because I want to. So let's jump into this.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so yesterday the jury found Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin guilty on the counts, and he faced over the death of George Floyd. Okay, so he's been found guilty of unintentional second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. So let's just examine this, what these are. Unintentional second-degree murder is defined as causing death without intent to do so while committing or attempting to commit a felony offense. The maximum sentence for this second-degree murder is 40 years. Third-degree murder is causing death to an individual by perpetrating an act imminently dangerous to others and evidencing a depraved mind without regard for human life, but without the intent to cause death. Now that carries a maximum sentence of 25 years. Second-degree manslaughter is causing the death of another by culpable negligence, creating an unreasonable risk in which the defendant consciously takes the risk of causing death or great bodily harm to another individual, and it carries a maximum sentence of 10 years. Now, these maximum sentences are not the minimum. They are the maximums. But the minimum at this particular point, according to the article that I pulled off at NPR, is that he is looking at a minimum of 12 and a half years for conviction on unintentional second-degree murder for someone with no criminal history. But the prosecutors could seek a maximum sentence. So that could be 40 years at a maximum. The problem is I think that they're going to give him time credit for time served. It might be in a very low security prison, and it may be concurrent. All 3 of these charges or these sentences may be concurrent, and so they're overlapped. And I don't think he's going to get this 12 and a half years. I think he's probably going to get, but he's going to probably get off for good behavior if he lives through this jail time. And
yeah, you know what Bougie Girl said? He was a scapegoat because normally you don't see all of these police officers. I mean, they threw his ass. I mean, not that I feel bad for him at all. Not that I feel bad for him at all. But they threw his, all of his fellow police officers. That thin blue line, them hoes stepped all the way over that thin blue line.
This is true.
They threw his ass all the way under the bus.
But the time served that I was talking about would be like, for instance, it's been a year since this happened.
But I thought he was on house arrest. He was on house actually in jail.
But again, they'll try some credit with that bullshit. And we have 8 weeks until the actual.
Yeah, he was out on bail.
But we have 8 weeks until the actual sentencing.
Right, and I was just still like.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was
even these charges. It was like unintentional second-degree murder, causing death without intent to do so. Well, I don't even know that we could say that because, again, time and time again, we've seen situations where white people have done way worse to the police officers.
Yes, indeed.
Like they drugged this one cop. This one white person drug a cop, with the car, and then
another one stole the car.
Right, and his ass got arrested alive. And so, is there something in the back of their mind, or even the front of their mind, that says I can get away with doing this? And you look at the fucking police report; they described it as a medical issue. And if that girl hadn't been there filming, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
We surely
we
would.
would just be some upset people
Surely
that another Negro died, but we would have no way to act on that because according to the police, they just had a medical issue. So I feel like there's a whole investigation that needs to go on. And thankfully, Merrick Garland has announced that there will be a top to bottom investigation of the Minneapolis police force.
See how that works? Former 45. See how that works?
But you know, so these are the kind of things that when
See
people,
how that works?
you know, I'm going to keep beating this horse because every election is important from here on out.
Yep.
When people say, well, what, you know, why should I vote? This is why. Because we know Bill Barr, we know in a second Trump administration, would we have gotten a conviction?
Probably not.
Maybe, maybe not. But what we definitely would not have gotten is an investigation into the Minneapolis Police Department.
And that is important.
That is very important because that puts them under the spotlight. I feel like, you know, they need to hire a whole bunch of other people because they need to have some investigation into the Minneapolis. I mean, just about every major jurisdiction in this country has had it, but Minneapolis recently has had a particular problem with it, as has Chicago and now fucking Columbus.
Well, Columbus, Ohio.
Because that's the same place where Tamir Rice got shot and killed.
So, well, also, Dante Wright, that was the same county where they actually had the trial for George Floyd was where Dante Wright was actually shot and killed in Hennepin County. So that's one thing. And so speaking of that this Columbus young lady, she was a 16-year-old black girl. She was fatally shot by an officer outside her home after she called the police on Tuesday afternoon, according to her family. Now, again, NPR reported this, but the girl's name, she has been identified. Her name is Ma'Khia Bryant. So again, we're going to say her name, Ma'Khia Bryant. Now, Bryant allegedly called officers at 4:30 when 4:30 local time when a group of older girls threatened her with assault. And her aunt told the Ohio State House News Bureau reporter, she didn't elaborate on the nature of the threat, but what happened was at the Tuesday night press conference, the Columbus Police Department released an edited version of the body camera video worn by the officer who shot Bryant. Now, police have not made the name public yet, but again, here's what actually happened. The body camera footage shows an officer getting out of his patrol car as he responds to a commotion on the driveway of a home. Then, as he approached a group of people standing and shouting on the driveway, he asked what's going on. Seconds later, Bryant and another girl began fighting in front of the officer. Bryant can be seen pushing the girl to the ground. She then approaches the second girl and throws her against a car parked on the driveway. The officer shouts, "Get down," 3 times, pulls out his gun and shoots in Bryant's direction at least 4 times, and she falls to the ground. So, of course, at that particular point, one man is screaming, "Oh, she's just a kid." But as the officer approaches her, a knife can be seen close to her. So the officer then tells the 2 other policemen that on the scene that Bryant had a knife and was coming at the second girl. Now, there is a rule or regulation that says that as a police officer, you should defend people if you see them in imminent danger. And I'm loosely paraphrasing this. So basically, if you see someone that's going to be in harm, you have the right to. Not the right, but you have the ability as a police officer to stop that person from causing bodily harm to someone else. But I don't necessarily know if this fits in that. She was 16. And then there's a discrepancy with whether she was 14, 15, or 16, because her aunt says she was 15. Her mother says she was 16, and somewhere else was reported 14. So we'll figure that out. Either way, this young lady she was a young lady. She's very young.
She was a child.
Basically.
It doesn't matter how old she was. Because if someone, police officers wear bulletproof vests as a matter of course. So, and you've got 2 people, so there are multiple problems. One, Black people are always assumed older than he was because in that police officer's mind, she was probably a grown ass woman.
Yep.
But even if she was a grown ass woman, she's got a knife. You've got a bulletproof vest. They're fighting. At most, you push the girl away or something. I mean, I feel like the militarization of the police department, that is that response is the response of a soldier. The response of a soldier who is there for some bullshit too. Let's just be clear. The soldier's there for bullshit, but under the rules of engagement in war, you can be like, well, he had a gun. You don't know what else is going on. That's fine, whatever. But if you're supposed to be there to serve the interest of the community and the state, and really it's the state, but that militarized thinking of as soon as anybody presents any threat, immediately shoot is wrong. I feel like there should have been any number of ways to non-lethally. I mean, think about if that fight had gone on in the school and it was your principal. We all know the big booty principal would have been like, girls, cut it out. And then one of the girls would have been pushed or whatever, So if school resource officers, and I'm not talking about off-duty cops, but if school resource officers and guidance counselors and principals and teachers can deal with kids fighting, and kids bring knives to school and shit all the time.
They do.
I'm not saying that's how it should be, but I'm saying that everybody else who has to deal with these same situations are able to respond to it without a gun. So the gun, to me, should be the very last resort.
Absolutely.
Now, if the bitch had thrown the knife at you,
then that's a whole different story.
But if two people are fighting and one pulls a knife, that doesn't mean that you pull out the gun and shoot anybody. I mean, that's what the fuck they gave you tasers for. That's what they gave you training for. This is what we talk about when we talk about.
They talk about the tactical training as well, because Tyra mentioned that as well.
Right. They talk about, there is this about defunding the police. The money that goes to the police should go to, I am not personally in favor. I mean, we're going to have some organization that deals with crazy people that do fucked up shit. The problem is that everyone is acting like we live in a world of superheroes and supervillains. And we don't. Most people are just regular people. Yeah, somebody with a gun or whatever, but y'all are acting like everyday people are like super criminals, and it was just two kids fighting. So if there had been, a trained social worker.
So wait a minute. So listen, I don't know about nobody else, and I'm not saying this in any way, and it may come across, with a little humor in it, but this is real shit.
The opinions of Epic Onyx do not represent.
They do not. But listen, I don't know about anybody else, but listen, growing up in Philadelphia or around the gays, when shit break out, bitch, I am not trying to be in the middle of this fight, especially if I ain't got nothing to do with it. No. I'm trying to get the fuck away from this fight and figure out what's going on, because I always fear that someone's going to have a gun or a knife, and it's going to be me that accidentally gets shot. So I can't.
So when they start with the girls, be like,
because in a heartbeat, especially when I used to hang out in the ballroom scene, baby, it was like whoever I was with, I was like, shoot, come with me. If the fight's breaking out over there, we're going that direction.
Right.
We're not doing that
unless they come with a fucking taser.
Well,
at the Denny's on Benny Road.
We all have our moments, and it's okay. We all have our moments.
I get your point.
But my whole point is also, you're walking as a police officer. I get it that you are putting yourself in harm's way by approaching this situation and being the law, or trying to enforce the rules of safety and law. You're trying to enforce these laws. But do we have to go right to the guns? Because I'm just
finish.
I'm just concerned, because if we're starting with guns,
there's nowhere to go.
You can't go back down. Like, you just can't.
And I have some sympathy for police officers, but girl, also,
I have some. But you signed up for the job. You signed up for this.
You knew that you were going to have to deal with this, and the police, the system should provide training to deal with this and how to de-escalate situations. Because rarely when people are already rah-rah'd up like that.
And that's just it. When you
pulling a gun,
folks get rah-rah'd
and screaming like that.
Because
most people that get in those situations, black, white, or otherwise, are already.
You're already hyped.
They're already hyped.
You're off the chart.
Whatever
emotional control
they've got is already out the window. Whatever anger management or whatever they had is already out the window. So you pulling up, you know, in a police car, skirt, and drawing a gun on people, you know, is not de-escalating.
It is not
the situation at all.
But it is also, I understand the concern as the person getting ready to go in the mix of it. But like we just said, you signed up for this.
You signed up for
this, and I need you to go in this thinking and trying to be as careful as you possibly can and figuring out a way to de-escalate the situation. If the shit's going on over here, then and you have a gun, listen, why not shoot that gun in the air and figure out that you can get people's attention first and then try to break that up? I just
or tase somebody. Not that tasing is necessarily always a better option, but this impetus to go straight to shooting actual people.
And people
over a fight between two girls, because that's just the thing with me. It's just like, and the thing is that
I'm not going to minimize that fight.
Yeah, I mean, they could have. The girl could have got slashed in the face.
When folks want to fight, they want to fight, and so when they get to that point, like you just want to fight. I'm just saying,
or shoot someone in the foot.
Yeah,
you know, shoot a bitch in the pinky toe or something. I mean, you know, don't shoot center mass or in the head. I mean, this job requires a lot.
It does.
But this is a lot that you signed up for. And if you thought that a lot just simply meant that you were going to get to go around wearing a badge, throwing your weight around, and that everybody was going to have to stop and listen to you regardless, you know, that doesn't make sense. Because here's the thing. You want everyone to stop the moment you pull a gun, but yet you, a trained police officer, freak the fuck out when people pull out a comb or some cigarettes or some Skittles or standing in the corner the way that you don't think they should be, or they're in the car with their baby and they go to put the car in reverse and you think someone has a gun and freaks out in all of these situations, but yet people who aren't trained are supposed to react calmly in the face of someone yelling them to get the fuck down and putting a gun in their face.
And that's what the problem is. It's what you just mentioned, that a lot of these police officers, in my opinion, that are coming out, that are in the force, have not been properly trained.
They haven't been trained to do anything.
They are coming back
they haven't been trained to shoot that gun well.
But I'm saying they're coming back from situations of war and as soldiers. I will bet the money in my pocket, which I ain't got nothing in my pocket right now, I got a credit card, that the people who are in there's a large percentage of people in the police or in the police force that have a military background or in some sort of service of military, like something combative, but you still haven't been trained as a police officer to deal with that situation.
I don't know the answer to this question, but I'm betting that there aren't any sort of there isn't any psychological profiling that you have to go through in order to become a police officer,
which in and of itself is a problem.
Like, I feel like not only should you have to go through the application and the thing, but I feel like before they let you in the police academy, you need to see a psychologist as part of the job.
But I thought, and I could be wrong, I don't know, if anybody knows this, please let me know, because I thought that in the academy there was at some point in time an assessment that's done on cadets. Now it can change, it needs to be done frequently. It seems
the cases that we have showing out there is showing to me that whatever they're doing now in terms of psychological training is, I'm not even talking about training, I'm talking about profiling. Right. I'm saying you need to show these ink blots. What do you see? A gun. What do you see? A big gun. What do you see? A red gun.
Accenture brought up a good point, saying some of them wanted to be in the armed forces and couldn't pass, so they became cops. And that very well could be the connection. Because there's an urge to be a soldier, but they want to throw their weight around
and they want to be bullies and
you want to be a cop.
Being in the police force is the best way in this country of legally being a bully, because you could literally get away with killing someone and you could tell the most bullshit whole ass story and have the state back you up and a whole segment of society back you up. again, I go back to the fact that had it not been for this young woman who filmed, and these other people who filmed the murder of Eric Floyd, it would just be the police story, and we'd have no way to prove that it was anything other than a medical incident, which is how the police wrote it up.
Yeah, I don't know. I am for the conversation of what to do with the police and how to set it up so that there is psychological training. Well, I'm sorry, psychological testing, as well as de-escalation training, and more attempts at how to mediate situations.
There should also be people whose job in the police is there should be an army of trained social workers and counselors whose job it is to ride along on the beat with police officers, like the community beat. Now, your job is you like to be on the murder squad or whatever, but most of these people where this shit happens are just the beat police.
Right.
There should be a psychologist, or don't get me to talking to the wrong, but someone with some counseling training who can go in, and especially in a situation like this, be like, it's two girls fighting with a knife. You let this person go in and try to calm the situation down. Maybe that person also has a gun to protect themselves. Because I mean, I'm not saying that you can't protect yourself, but that person is specifically trained on de-escalation techniques, and how to de-conflict a situation. And the training says that using your gun is your last resort to resolve the conflict.
Yeah. I don't know. We have a lot. This is going to be a great discussion whenever it finally, comes to fruition. And not necessarily a great discussion, but I want to see what this process is, and I want to see how they're going to actually go about this, and what, if anything, is going to actually be done. So I just want to see what this is going to be with the police department. So we shall see.
So there was a 7-year-old girl who was traumatized after a white school staff member cut her hair. So there's a cute little biracial girl in the first grade. Her name is Journey Hoffmeyer. She was when she came home one day, her father, Jimmy Hoffmeyer, was shocked to see his 7-year-old walk through the door. His daughter's curly hair was chopped within inches of her scalp, the work of women who clearly didn't have an idea of how to care for the hair of a black child. 2 days prior, Journey was on the bus heading home from an elementary school in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, where a classmate cut her hair. Journey's long curls were cut several inches on one side to around shoulder length. When she got home, her family was stunned to see what had happened to her. But Journey's father took her to the salon and let her choose a new style. Journey felt bad about what happened, but she was like, at least I got a new style.
Exactly.
And then 2 days later, she comes home and the child, they cut her hair.
They cut her hair.
I
think I have probably as much hair as she had on the top of her head right now.
Right.
Because this young lady had, this little girl had hair. It was this curly blonde hair that was down to her shoulders. And it was just, out and wild and free.
Here's the bullshit. So blah, blah, blah. She said, I asked if the girl, he asked his daughter if the girl on the bus had cut her hair again. First of all, the way that Stephanie would have lit into, listen, I told you the story about how that time that them white kids spit on my car and called them up. My mother was like,
hey,
right.
Because Mary Alice, and I didn't even know it, but Mary Alice kept a pistol in her purse.
Right. So,
I'm so glad I didn't know that when I was a kid.
First of all, I feel like the father, Jimmy, should have been at that little girl's house. Because they didn't talk about that part.
Well, yeah. He tried to be the, I guess, reasonable parent.
But
reasonable,
reasonable is not fucking you and your child up.
Right.
But at a minimum is having a conversation with that
their child's
parent. About why your child felt entitled to put their hands on another person.
And they're first graders, and their kids, and kids do dumb shit.
Dumb shit. So you don't necessarily get rah-rah with the child or the parent. but at least you have a conversation to impress upon the child that
the gravity of
you
the
can
situation.
touch every other child, but if you put your hands on Journey again,
It's
we
going to be a
about to
problem.
have words.
It's going to be a problem.
And then, so Journey says, this time she said, father asked, was it the principal again, the teacher again? She says, no, it was my library teacher cut my hair. He says, I couldn't believe it. I jumped in the car to go to school, but realized it was spring break. I couldn't get a hold of anyone, so I called the cops. The library teacher's name is Kelly Mogg. So Journey emailed, Mr. Hoffmeyer emailed Journey's teacher, Kristen Jacobs, to let her know that he was filing a police report. Minutes later, the principal's secretary called him. He recalled the secretary saying that she was in utter disbelief, but the principal would not be able to talk to him until after spring break, which is bullshit. Utter bullshit.
Because
listen,
Mary Alice would have been on. First of all, she's in the school district, so she'd have been like, let me just go ahead and go. She was at the A building.
Right.
She had everybody's information. She showed up at her house. She'd been like, hey, you're the principal? Yes, I worked out. This is where we are.
But even if you hadn't done that, I'd have been like, oh, you can't talk to me? Well, here's a letter that's about to go out. So if you're the principal of this school, so I'm about to talk to the district, I'm about to talk to the head of the county, I'm about to talk to the mayor, and I'm about to talk to every TV station that will have me. Since you can't be available to resolve this, oh, bitch, I know how to go above.
We will make
you.
Yeah, we will make.
First of all, there was absolutely no reason for this library teacher to touch this girl's head at all.
And what were you doing?
Unless like they were fucking around and she got like glue all in her hair and it got stuck together.
But say that.
Right.
And before you even do anything, it's like, call the parent.
Right.
Hi, Mr. Such, just to let you know, this is where we are. There's something that's going on. I don't know what you want us to do. You want us to cut or whatever, but I think you may want to come pick up your child because this is what's going on. I don't want that responsibility. You touch somebody's child. I don't want the responsibility of touching someone's child and somebody being upset. My godson, I refused to put my hands on him because I knew his mother was like, there were some moments where she was like, oh, I just want you to shake him. I said, I'm never going to put my hands on him because I love you and you love me, but I'm never going to put my hands on him because you're not going to fuck me up.
Right.
Like, that's just not going to happen. We're not going to fuck up this friendship.
So in the meantime, Journey has switched schools and started going to counseling. Said we've had to take her to the doctor because she hasn't been eating. She's having trouble sleeping now and always wants to be with us, all because her hair didn't look like how they thought it should look, wasn't done to their standards. If you look at pictures of her before this happened, you can just see her spark and energy. Now it's like it's just gone. The school board was scheduled to have a meeting at 6:30 p.m. this past Monday, April the 19th. I feel for this girl, and this is be clear, the father's black.
The father is black.
And the mother's clearly
white. And he did get in touch with the superintendent, but the superintendent was very nonchalant and actually offered to have the teachers to send I'm sorry letters. And then they also said, we'll walk around with her in the school. And he's like, why are you singling out my child? Like, who does that? It's not about the child. The discipline, right?
Librarian.
They need to be out. They need to be out of there.
Out because that's assault.
Like that's assault, and it's assault on a minor. Like, come on, like that's just.
Probably that girl was very happy about her hair, especially since her father had made a particular thing of going to get it styled in a very nice way that she chose, and then to have some other adult come in
and just cut
it without her permission. It
was a lot. But listen, the one thing's for certain, two things for sure. We definitely know Stephanie and Mary Alice. This will be a completely different story because I don't know about Stephanie, but I know Mary Alice would have ended up on the news if shit went left. Because listen, my mother, she'd have laid her hands on somebody.
When I was in the 6th grade, right?
I'm just saying.
It was my first thing with team teaching. So there were 3 Miss McGrail, Miss Johns, and Miss Harris.
Okay.
Miss Johns got pregnant, so she was out.
Okay.
And we had a substitute teacher. And I guess I said something that the teacher didn't like. So he hit me. He didn't hit me, but his hand did make contact with my face. I went home and told my father. And I did not expect the level of anger that my father displayed. And my mother was like, calm down, Charles, calm down, calm down. He was like, all right. So we're in class the next day. Miss Johns is still out, right? Now, my parents were well known to the school principal, but that was because I was precocious and, my parents were, my mother was a stay-at-home mother. She cooked for the bake sale and did all sorts of stuff. So it wasn't unusual that my parents were there. What was unusual was, because my father worked for Metro, he had these keys. You just heard these keys down the hallway. Where the fuck is he? This is in the hallway of the school. And here come the principal, Miss Shockley. Miss Shockley's husband was the man who invented the transistor radio. So it was like, she was this big white woman with these like pear-shaped, but she was a beautiful, lovely woman. And so she is, 225 pounds trying to hold back 280 pounds of angry Negro. And she was like, that motherfucker put his hand on my son. My father is from Southeast. He grew up right down the street.
You ain't got
from here.
Teachers unions have a lot of power in certain districts. As a principal, I've had to go toe to toe with the union to get teachers out of my building who have done terrible things. So Savant, listen, thank you for that. And yes. I understand they always say there's 3 sides to a story. With this, it sounds like it's going to be 5 sides, or this is right. So, but I get it. But at the end of the day, these teachers were wrong. And even if as a principal, there's things that I can't do legally, my conversation with them would still be like, what are you doing?
And the thing is like, even if you can't do anything to them,
I would figure out some way.
The superintendent's response to the parent was still not helpful.
It was still not helpful. And as the person who would be the principal who's monitoring that particular situation, I'd still have to figure out what I need to do to discipline. Like I need to quiet them down or put them out or put them in teacher prep for like the whole day or something. And something, I got to figure out something for them to do.
Just the whole thing that something happens.
Sabbatical, something.
And then, you say, oh, well, the principal is not available because they on spring break.
The principal is always available if there's an emergency. That's how we grew up.
That's how I would think.
So if the principal is available, listen, this is bullshit. And this is bullshit. And I just, in 2021, I'm amazed that this is still happening. But again, this is also happening to this biracial child with his parents. And I listen.
It's because this white woman didn't think that this biracial child whose hair, it may have been, she went to the hairstylist, so it clearly wasn't all over her head.
She's a beautiful little
girl. It's her style.
It's her hair. She's a little girl.
In the first grade. Listen, I mean, I have seen plenty of kids from my white colleagues from the first grade where they did some old fucked up hairdo in the picture, and everybody thought it was cute. So,
I get it. I get it that it happens. But again, that conversation between the parents is always something that would happen.
And we know Savant is always available.
Always available.
Savant will go to tell you how bad. Savant is a bad bitch. Because he was talking about one day, while it was still in COVID, he was talking about how he made like personal trips to see individual students to make sure that they know that they were still, a value part of the family, and he almost got jumped. I mean, some of his students, it's a little hood adjacent, but he is so loved, and he is so loved.
Let me just put this out there. Baby, if you going somewhere, you about to get jumped. Baby, you caught my number. You call me, bitch.
Savant grew up in Southeast.
I know he good, but I'm just saying, just in case you need somebody from the long range.
Savant's real name is Raekwon. So Raekwon got it under control.
Raekwon can meet up with Starkeisha, and Starkeisha and I and Raekwon and everybody else can even come the fuck on out, so we can come the fuck out and play. So I'm just saying, so just call me.
So principals are always available.
Because I don't like that.
I mean, that's the whole point of being a principal. Now I get you got to go on vacation and you be out of the country or whatever, but we in COVID. There's no way to.
Where you going? You ain't going nowhere.
And just that whole response, and I get that the person that answered the phone is only an admin. So I mean, I ain't expected her to be whatever, but there should have been some training to been like, when they finally talked, the principal should have been like, "Girl, you got my home number. You this is what you should have done." And so if anything happens, like if anybody for any reason says they need to speak to the principal, call me, and then you tell me what's happened, and then I will tell you what to tell them.
I'll call them, or I'll deal when I get back, or whatever.
Right, because some shit can be handled when you get back, but not
and
that.
Listen, and my mom was actually that person at one of the elementary schools, so she was like the gatekeeper for the principal. Mm-hmm. And the sad part is, my mom got a little rock, but the principal Ryder, she was rah. So my mom was like, you don't want to play around with this. I'm telling you, you don't want to play around with it. I'm trying to like, all right, okay, whatever. But Miss Penny Ryder, baby, and I love her. I went to school with her daughters night and day. But anyway, so I commend all the principals, and I'm just sad that this story even happened.
So there's this one. I mean, I don't really give a much of a shit about Phaedra coming back to Real Housewives.
So it's cute because listen. Phaedra, people always talk about on the Real Housewives that the show has gotten boring since Nene left and since Phaedra left. Phaedra has had some motherfucking phenomenal reads.
She has, but she's not a good person.
She's boring though, in the sense that while the show's going on, but the shadiness is what the franchise can use.
Yes, I get that, but you know my general feelings about that.
But
I think it's. I don't want to say it's unbecoming of a lady. I think it's unbecoming of a human being. I just don't think that kind of behavior should be encouraged. And you can see it. You can see how society, especially Black society, has changed over the past decade with the Real Housewives, because you have a lot of women and Black gays emulating the antics of Nene and Phaedra and what's the one with the bad skin?
Were you talking about Portia?
No.
Or you're talking about Kenya?
Kenya. Because up close, Kenya's skin is a mess.
Kenya's beautiful. I've always thought
she is beautiful. But here's my thing. Yeah. If you have a flaw that's like easily perceivable, don't be talking shit, because I will be the first one to call you a crater face bitch.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't be on the show. Because I'd have been like,
I don't have patience.
Crater face ass bitch.
I don't have the patience for it. I'm not that PC. I'm trying to be PC is hard. You have to think about it.
It doesn't have to be PC. Just don't say
shit. Because I can't
say nasty shit about people.
Yeah, but I can't.
And then the whole reason she got put off the show was because she knowingly lied about this
and spread a rumor.
Yeah, and I mean that's knowingly. Meanwhile, your husband is a whole ass felon, and there is no way that you could have lived in that house with him and not known what the fuck he was doing, because he ain't had no other job, and he had all of this money and all this other stuff. Other than what you gave him, and you ain't know nothing about it. Yeah, I don't believe that.
Well, anyway, Apollo is now out, and so he's out of jail.
Oh, I thought you said he was out. I was like, he's a homosexual. No, bye, bitch. I gotta go. It's time for me to go shoot my shot.
Apollo,
he been in jail for 6 years. You know he got at least got his dick sucked. We know he got way.
He was sitting pretty. He was sitting pretty in there. Mm-hmm. But so Phaedra is actually showing up. She's going to return on a special episode of Andy Cohen's Late Night Watch What Happens Live, Bravo, Blast from the Past, Real Housewives. And so it's going to feature Parks and others as they relive past moments that made Bravo history. So she's going to talk about that sperm donor, the pizza, $10 pizza and sperm donor thing.
And that was unnecessary too, because that's lots of women. I mean, there is absolutely, but they made it like a thing and like it was a read, and I thought that was
it was nasty.
It was nasty.
It was
unnecessary because
it was nasty. And
so
I'm kind of here for it because it was nasty.
It was nasty, but it was
there's a side of my person I was
unnecessary though.
But I mean,
because lots of women,
and this is why I can't be on a Real Housewife franchise.
Lots of women have problems conceiving or want more control over their lives, and so they go to
a
sperm bank. And she was making it sound like it was some weird thing that She
did.
And I get that they were in the middle of some shit, and you got to read the bitch. You can't just let that shit go.
And her and Portia have a history. And I'm sorry, not Portia. Her and Kenya had a history.
Yes.
And Kenya's mouth is hot garbage on a shingle.
Right. And if you say some shit, then you get what you deserve.
So it's like, all right. But
I mean, so I get that, but still, again, I just feel like it was unfortunate because everybody makes it sound like she was really reading her, and it was like, no, she just went to a sperm bank. I mean, that's not in 2016 or whatever the fuck it was. I mean, a woman going to a sperm bank because she wants control over her reproductive life is not unusual.
Her read was based on her being a woman and being attractive, and also being attractive on the inside and the outside to attract the man that she wants. That was part of that read was because she's like, she was saying she's an ugly like there's a, women read on so many different levels, and I'm just be like, what?
Right.
Yeah. And Kenya kept hitting below the belt. Exactly.
Right.
So
she got what she got.
She got what she got. But
okay, good for her.
I'm going to tell y'all right now, if y'all have not, y'all need to go on to YouTube and look for the motherfucking Scorpion versus Sub-Zero opening scene for Mortal Kombat 2021 that comes out on the 23rd on Friday.
So there's a lot of shit happening on Friday.
7 minutes of it. And it is Sub-Zero versus Scorpion. And when I tell you these 7 minutes, I was like, bitch, I wasn't even a Mortal Kombat fan, but bitch, I'm here for this.
Okay.
I'm here for it. But I'm here for all the martial arts though. Like I'm here for it.
I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah. But anyway, you said so on Friday, besides Mortal Kombat,
it's the season finale of Drag Race,
right?
And it's the premiere of a Black Lady sketch show.
We have a lot of shit going on. I need to make sure. I need to set my DVR so I make sure that I don't miss anything. Wait, but that'll show up on HBO Max as well, right?
Yeah, it's on HBO Max.
Okay, okay. So
here's what I'm gonna do.
I got 2 I can watch anywhere, and I can DVR 1.
I'm going to watch Drag Race, then the Black Lady sketch show, and then Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, so I'll
be up until 2:00 watching that.
I'm gonna make it work.
So in shocking news, Sonia Norwood, who was Brandy's mama, sued the Kardashians for spending over $120,000 on her credit card in 2008. So I mean, what else is there to say?
Yeah, now this story
back in the day before Kim Kardashian was Kim Kardashian, she worked for Sonia Norwood because she's a manager and all of that, and so she
was a stylist she was hired as a stylist for Brandy.
So Khloe, Courtney, and Rob allegedly had access to Brandy Sonia Norwood's credit cards for business purposes, and allegedly ran up over $120,000 on items for themselves. So, working as Brandy stylist since 2004, she and her siblings allegedly spent over $62,000 in unauthorized charges in 2006, according to TMZ. The following year, the family continued their habit, charging nearly $58,000 to Norwood's credit card without permission.
Now, the family released this statement to themselves to TMZ saying the charges against the Kardashians are meritless. Both Kim and Khloe were employed by the Norwoods and never used their credit cards without their express authorization. The Kardashian family looks forward to proving the absurdity of these claims in a court of law. But here's the thing. Norwood claimed that not only did they cop not only cop the credit card charges, but also told her that they pay it back in full. And in June 2009, Norwood asked for the lawsuit to be dismissed without prejudice, which possibly means the case was settled outside of court. Now, in a statement obtained by TMZ, Norwood said, "I did not want to commence litigation against the Kardashian family without conducting an exhaustive investigation into the charges and discussing all options, including criminal prosecution, with my family." Now, listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't believe this, because I absolutely believe this.
I 100% believe it.
I absolutely believe this.
They're all grifters.
And they have, while now they might be in a position to do things the way that they should have done, they started in some way, shape, or form. And I'm not even mad at you. You're starting, if you started dirty and you went to clean, baby, listen, you're paying for your dirty shit because you've given back and you're constantly giving back. You're constantly trying to do something to kind of wipe that slate clean in your mind, at least. But you did it. And I'm just go, that's my opinion. I think you did it. But now you're good. I hope it doesn't happen to you and someone is not in that same position, but I think you did it.
Of course they did.
Yeah, I think you did it.
So in some good news, so Baltimore Mayor Randall Woodfin celebrated 420 Day by sending 15,000 marijuana convictions up in smoke. So the mayor announced a blanket pardon for anyone with a closed marijuana conviction in the Birmingham municipal courts between 1990 and 2020. The blanket pardon, issued in conjunction with the city's Pardons for Progress initiative, sent more than 15,000 possession cases up in smoke. In an interview with The Root, Woodfin explained the move was a last-ditch effort to blunt the devastating effects of the war on drugs. I'll go, you can read all of this on The Root, but
that's a good move. It's a good look.
It's a good look. I think that every jurisdiction where marijuana is being legalized, they need to go back and expunge every marijuana conviction, because you can't say to someone, you got to do this criminal record, right? You do this criminal record search, right? And then you got arrested for something that is now legal.
Right. It should be.
It's still being held against you. So I feel like the only right thing to do is to expunge all of those convictions, in any jurisdiction where marijuana is now legal or criminalized. Possession is decriminalized.
Got you.
All right. So we already talked about Google, blah, blah, blah. So now it's time to talk about Drag Race. We're right on schedule. It's 9:14. There wasn't a whole lot to talk about. I do want to talk about these. So we'll pull up the thing.
So listen,
before we talk about the looks, I do want to talk about these videos, because these videos ranged from.
It was horrible. Like
from meh to eh.
It was. So listen. So this was the 2-hour reunion special.
Yes.
And it was a lot. We're in COVID, and I get it. They don't have all the people together, so they tried to group people together, do little skits and stuff, and tried to answer questions. It wasn't even fun. It wasn't even necessary.
What was the concept of those videos were cute.
The concept, the idea of it.
Both of them were terrible.
Yeah,
so all right. So let's start from the top. Joey J's, NSYNC, don't care.
I don't give a fuck about.
Don't care. Who gives a shit? The fact that Lance Bass was at the end, don't care. Elliot with 2 T's, I can't remember.
Do I remember the video? I don't even know if I remember that one. Yeah.
Lala Reese was cute, but I didn't think the words went with the beat.
I just like
and
Lala
everything.
Reese.
And Lala,
yeah, I like her, but
cute. Utica's was actually good, I thought, where it had all of the strings and it was
very conceptual.
It was a very good concept.
It was very conceptual, and I kind of liked it. So to look at it visually.
Yeah. Tina Burners, can't remember a thing about it. Except it was red, orange, and yellow. But I mean that
wasn't. Olivia
Lux.
She emoted throughout the whole video. She was just lip syncing. It was all this hair, and then she was emoting.
I'm going down.
Yeah, it was. She
said this classic, and then this comes up. And
I'm thinking when she was going back to Rolls Royce, she did Mary J. Blige,
which is still a classic to her, and to me too. It is a classic, but I was like, it was in the top third of. Which isn't necessarily saying much. Denali's terrible. You're ice skating with animated sparkles.
I've seen her. She did another ice skating video where she's actually outside on a lake, and that was even better.
Yeah. Tamisha Iman, the kids were living for that video, but I was like, it's just
for me,
it's not giving what it's supposed to have gave.
And then for me,
no, I wasted my money.
And then for me, the dancing for her,
it was very low energy.
Stop doing it. If you're not able to do what you did, then baby, do what you can do and do it well.
Just have the
just do your
focus
face
on you.
Give it some
hand.
Even
the little background dancers were very like.
Or change your dance moves up so they actually meet with where you are right now.
Right.
So
it was
I don't know. I wasn't a fan.
And even the words didn't put no toot in my
Kimora Hall.
Kimora's I thought was actually probably the best one.
What was hers? What was hers again?
Giving him something he can feel. Which, and I mean, that's a low bar.
But The visuals
her
for
words
her,
did not match up. I mean,
Yeah.
she was lip syncing.
the
But
visuals for her were good.
Video did not always match up with the audio.
The whole idea of being in a tub and like
Yes.
the production of it, how it was put
Hers
together.
felt the most like an actual.
It was actual done.
concept.
Yeah, it was like a done video.
Mhm.
So I'll give her that.
Yeah.
But she still looks like she still looks very hard around the face. Like her and Rose look related because they look hard around the makeup face.
I will say that she's learned because now she looks less like a skeleton. Something about her makeup just made her hard looking,
like Rose.
She seemed a little bit more
hard,
soft now.
She seemed hard. Her and Rose are cousins. That's how I'm feeling. But anyway, they got to
and those 69 questions. They could have kept that too.
So they got to the Ace Hotel in Los Angeles. All 4 of the contestants. And the contestants showed up and they were asking them 69 questions and they were like going through, they were saying like cute, predictable answers types of thing. And they interviewed each one and it was all fine and dandy, but that was fine. And that was how the special really ended with them all coming back together. But there's been a report on Out Magazine that the 4 contestants had red carpet looks for the upcoming show. And these were their looks that they have for the red carpet look. So we see in this next slide, you get to see the looks for Simone. Now, here's the thing. Simone has again, we all know she does like gimmicky, quirky stuff. Mm-hmm. But this turned up, it's a Moschino number. I always pronounce it. Is it Moschino or it's Moschino number? Mm-hmm. She worked with Jeremy Scott, designer, and she pulled a runway look that was essentially a coin purse. And so if you look at this very closely, at the top around her breast, it's like a coin purse opening, like, you know, your aunt. Okay. Mm-hmm. Like that's what it is. And then also you see on her shoe of her purse, the top of it is a coin purse. So that's kind of how her whole look is. Okay. And it works for her. It's cute. The color looks good on the bitch's skin is always glowing. She looks good. She's wearing a hat and a gown. Only Simone could do that type of shit. So I'm here for it. Right. Next it was Candy Muse. Now, actually, this look on Candy, this dress, I actually like the dress. I don't like the look of her, but I like the dress. Somebody else can pull it out, but I like the dress on her. I'm just saying.
Next up on the basic ball,
it's a cute.
It's Betty Rubble realness.
I hate you.
Does she not look like she is giving you?
It is Betty Rubble 2021.
She is giving you her best Flintstones. Oh,
that's not Betty because Betty had a blue dress on and Wilma had on a white dress.
But it's still very Flintstone.
It is very Flintstone, but I like the dress.
It's cute though. It's
her
cute.
dress was by Fruit and Gekant. It's called Fruity Gekant, I think it is. Mm-hmm. And it's a conceptual version of like fire and it kind of matches her personality. But again, I like the dress.
Yeah.
I think it looks great.
I think it's a little too short. Candy has a thing for wearing stuff that's short like
Candy is a hoe. Candy Ho. That's what her name is. Candy Ho.
Okay.
She's a I'm here for the hoeing. It's summertime, girl. Listen, air your stuff out. That's all I'm saying. Somebody said it looks very Babs. It kind of does.
Yeah.
But again, I like the dress. So the next slide shows Rose. Now, Rose's
this is the most beat she's ever looked in the face.
Rose's dress was basic. Mm-hmm. Her bangles which were like oversized. She went with this guy, this designer Bacala, from his Lost Moments Captured Forever collection. Mm-hmm. And these big bangles, these oversized bangles, like it's a basic dress, but it's a cute look. Now, you said this is the most soft she's looked. Is that what you said? The most beat she's looked?
Soft.
Soft? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, you disagree. You don't see it.
So we saying soft and beat? Can we go with 2 other adjectives?
Okay.
She looks pursed and photographed. That's all I got. That's all I got. I can't. That's all I got. So Got Mick didn't give any information about what her gown was and who it was made by, but people were just talking about how she looked like this big fluffy marshmallow. And listen, this white face look on Got Mick, like I thought it was cute the first couple of times I saw it for a couple of looks. And I know she said it's her signature look, but it is, can we do something else?
It very much, because
it becomes very clownish to me.
I mean, I feel like, except for around the eyes, I mean, I could do this look. I mean, anybody could paint their face.
Yeah,
all the
I
way.
mean, she got a.
I mean, that's not true because my face would not look like that at all.
Well, I mean, you cut your beard down, and you. But no, we can beat that. We can beat that bitch into submission.
Ooh, Miss Sting, looking quite harsh.
So, but I mean, these were their looks, and you know, hey, so the brother's in town. Hey, Spiller boy, he jumped in the room. Hey, Keneally. But yeah, so it's
giving.
It's a look. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I was a look.
I was really underwhelmed by all of these looks.
Rarely
do these looks gag me.
I liked
the last look that really gagged.
None of them gagged me, but I liked Candy's dress. Something about it.
All of them were fine. None of them were ugly, but no, I kind of wanted to be gagged a little more.
I think Simone was trying to gag folks with her. She was
trying to gag, but
it didn't quite land.
You gotta tell me it's a coin purse because I didn't see that.
Yeah, if you look when you look at the top of it, yeah.
I noticed a shoe bag, which I thought was cute, but I just didn't notice.
It probably would have helped if you got up close and you'd have been able to see the top of it, the little things. But that's okay. But it is
very Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence.
It is,
and maybe that was what the look she was going for. But the last look on the runway that gagged me that I can think of was when that motherfucking Detox came as a black and white character.
I don't know if I was gagged by that.
I was gagged by it because there was not a single part of her body that did not. She literally looked like a color photograph that someone had applied a filter to, and everybody else.
So I got that, but
so
it didn't get.
It gagged me because it was so well done.
Yes, it was. She's a phenomenal makeup artist,
and it wasn't just the makeup; it was
her whole body
and
her arms, leg. I can't think of any look. I can't think of any one look that just completely gagged the shit out of me. Like I just, and as much as I like Detox, as much as I love what's her face, Nina Flowers, because I think she painted her face absolutely fucking gorgeous. She is one of the most legendary paint faces for me.
Yeah,
her and Raven, they beat the shit out of their face, but I can't think of any look.
Face is always beat.
You know where I stand about bald head drag queen. I just don't. It's something about me. I just can't. I mean, I'm here to support it, and it looks good, but I can't. Even with Lala Ree, like I love Lala, and she did that little bald head thing. I was like, so I don't know, but I'm trying to think of a gag. What gagged me on a look that gagged me. I got to think about that because out of 13 seasons, I've been excited about a lot of stuff, but I can't think of anything that's gagging.
That's really like the only one that I'm sure, like if I think of some others, there'll be some others that came up. Like that time when Shangela came out in that Boy in the Bubble look.
So meanwhile,
it was a cute concept.
It was a cute concept.
It wasn't gag worthy.
And I'm so I'm gonna take the role of the Russian judge and I judge harshly because I've seen that done on a ballroom scene with a little girl.
Oh, okay.
Devonna the Diva. She did it and it was amazing. It was fly as shit. She's like 9 or 10 years old walking down a runway and fucking it up. Like she was like posing and shit. It was amazing. So when I saw Shangela, I was like, okay, girl. Like, all right. So I was being a little hard. But I mean, there's been some incredible looks. I just can't think of one right now that turned it for me. But I'll think about that. I'm thinking we'll talk about that next week.
Links. Ain't nobody ask you. Now sit down with your old fast ass.
Now wait a minute. Is this a challenge?
Right.
Okay, never mind. We going off the deep end.
And we seen him on Twitter, so
we going off on the deep end.
Guess you don't follow his Twitter.
I follows his Twitter.
Yeah, you haven't been paying attention recently?
I follows his Twitter. I guess this.
Okay, got it.
I'm just saying.
All right, so time for the outro.
Yeah, so check out this beautiful beam footage, and we will be right back. So,
alrighty then.
listen, who was the one that looked like a tree? You talking about from this season? Was it Kimura? Is that who you talking about? She did the tree thing. Kennedy was good. I mean, yeah, I got to think about that. What was her name?
Yeah, that one. Wasn't Iman something? Iman Diamond?
No.
Some blah, blah, blah.
Shit, it'll come to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, she wasn't. But I don't know. I didn't think
so you want to take us out with
what you mean you didn't think my legs was that pretty? What do you mean? What are you talking about? DJ, now do we need to have a conversation? What's going on? I don't understand what's going on. What's the problem here, honey? What's going on?
You're gonna take us out with another Luther number? Because if not, I got it.
I don't know all the words to.
That's
I don't.
Fine. That's
no,
fine.
No.
That's
you
fine.
got no. You've been saying no. You saying no. I pressing buttons. I hit a button by accident.
No, you're fine.
Okay, go ahead. No, I'm good. So DJ, you can inbox me and I can show you. Listen, in tribute of our lost, gone devo musical diva musical legend, we will have a final outro with another Luther song.
Woke up today, looked at your picture just to get me started. I called you up, but you weren't there, and I was brokenhearted. Hung up the phone, can't be too late, the boss is so demanding. Opened the door up, and to my surprise, there you were standing. Who needs to go to work to hustle for another dollar? I'd rather be with you, cause you make my heart scream and holler. Love is a gamble, and I'm so glad that I am winning. We come a long way, and yet this is only the beginning of our love. Thank you. A million days in your arms is never too much.
Yeah, I clearly don't know none of these words. I'm like 1,000 days and
no, it is 1,000 kisses from you. It's 1,000 kisses from you. A million days in your arms.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm out, but not butt twerks. But DJ. Okay, well, hit me up so we can go. So you can throw some pics back.
So yeah, we are good to go. We will see you all next week. I think we're going to plan some real fun special stuff for our trip to Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. I have so much stuff to do between now and in June.
Yeah, when is the day 50? Because I'm expecting
it starts on the 25th. It starts on
this month.
Yeah, it starts on 25th.
So Monday.
Yeah, so Monday. So yeah, it's a lot. I have so much stuff to do.
Sunday. So yeah,
I have so much stuff to do.
I'll be expecting a countdown post every day.
I'll be putting up my pictures of 50 days of 50 days of epic until I'm 50. So I will put those up and I'll start posting those on Facebook and either Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter. So I'll be doing that. So that was my challenge. I'm gonna do it. And so I'm gonna go ahead and apologize now. So Spiller Boy, you are in a couple of these pictures. So I'm letting you know. Listen, don't sue me now, but I'll run them through you before I put them up. But I'm putting you're in a couple of them. So yeah, but yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So I'll be starting that. But anyway. We really appreciate you guys being with us during this parabola, pandemic, pizza pie, panini. We know you could be anywhere. We really absolutely appreciate you coming, spending time with us. And we are very grateful and we're glad that you're here. It's good for us too. So I just want to say thank you. And yeah, what about you?
Thank you all for coming out. God bless you and good night. Mwah.